This fight isn't just for Congress, it's for all Americans before America becomes a full-fledged police state. This is not a drill. This is not a partisan squabble. This is a moment when we decide if the United States remains a constitutional republic or slides into authoritarian rule. Welcome to Trump's America. This is exactly what is going on right now, and it is a screaming disaster that basically nobody is safe in Trump's America. I mean, it's just like nobody is safe. And for some reason, I'm getting a very, very strange profile here on my homepage. Anyhow, welcome to Trump's America, where immigrants vanish, courts are ignored, and no one is safe. This is, once a government starts rounding up people, it's very, very hard to stop. And that's what's going on right now. I mean, the president declares it's an invasion. What he's really declaring is war on democracy itself. The United States has been defined from its founding by our commitment to the rule of law. 3 co-equal branches of government that serve as checks and balances each other. And right now, Trump has completely castrated the Republicans in Congress. They have been turned into castrati, the young men with little boy voices. And now he's going after the courts. Robert Reich writing about this morning, about how Trump's further descent into dictatorship. He was tweeting yesterday, presumably about Judge James Boasberg, who is the chief judge of the Federal District Court in Washington, D.C., saying this radical left lunatic of a judge, a troublemaker and agitator who was sadly appointed by Barack Hussein Obama, was not elected president. He didn't win the popular vote. Quack, 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 quack. This judge, like many of the crooked judges I am forced to appear before, should be impeached. And what's happening is all across the country, federal judges are starting to get death threats. They're starting to get swatted. They're starting to get attacked. 2 federal judges, Paul Engelmeyer and Jeanette Vargas, who blocked Musk's Doge from accessing the Treasury Department, secret files, have had to have additional security. When U.S. District Judge Amir Ali ruled on February 25th that Trump must resume U.S. foreign aid payments, Musk posted, quote, "When judges egregiously undermine the democratic will of the people, they must be fired." It went out to his 215 million followers, including one who said, U.S. patriots should fire upon him. Even the American Bar Association is worried about this. I mean, Donald Trump is using a law that was passed in 1798 for time of war. It has only been used in the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. That's it. And in World War II, it was used to round up the Japanese. Brilliant stuff, huh? And it's called the Alien Enemies Act. And under this law, he has rounded up more or less 250 Venezuelans and said, you guys are gang members and we're going to send you to the worst torture prison in the world, or certainly one of the worst. It's called it's in El Salvador, it's called the Center for Terrorism Confinement, or CICOT. And the Trump administration admits that virtually none of these people have been convicted of any crime whatsoever. They can't even prove that they're members of a gang. They have received no due process, no legal process whatsoever. This is how dictatorships work. Reuters has the story of one of these young men. Agnello had told his sister on Friday night that he would be deported to Venezuela, she said in a phone interview with Reuters from Texas. Solinar said her brother had been detained on January 31st after appointment at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement office. He had crossed the U.S. border illegally with her and another sister in November 2023 and been released to pursue a claim for asylum. He said that she said that an ICE officer told her that her brother was detained because of a tattoo that linked him to Tren de Aragua, a violent gang with Venezuelan prison origins. She said the tattoo depicted a rose that he had gotten in a tattoo parlor in Dallas. She said, quote, "He thought it looked nice, cool. It didn't have any other significance," stressing that he's not a gang member. Well, now he's in this prison down in El Salvador. He's not the only one. Johnny Sanchez, 22, suspects that her husband, Franco Carabello, 26, who was detained in Texas, is now in El Salvador. Carabello had multiple tattoos, including one of roses, a clock with his daughter's birth time, a lion, and a shaving razor, said his wife. She said, I suspect he's there because of the tattoos he has, and right now any Venezuelan man with tattoos is assumed to be a gang member. She said that her husband has never been a member of this gang or any other gang. I mean, there's just like multiple examples of actual people who have been abducted out of the United States and sent down to El Salvador. Trump is declaring that these people are an invasion and therefore he can use this law. Their blatant disregard for any kind of evidence is particularly chilling. Thousands of individuals, many who have lived in this country for years, are being swept up with zero proof that they're gang members or threats. Trump and his neighbors don't care. They're deporting innocent people. Even more horrifying, they're ignoring court orders to halt these unconstitutional actions. He's deliberately undermining the judiciary. Today it's asylum seekers and immigrants. Tomorrow it could be political opponents, journalists, or anyone who dares to criticize the orange menace occupying the White House. I mean, Trump has made it very clear to all of us who he wants to emulate. He wants to be like Putin. He wants to be like Kim Jong-un. I mean, he's not hiding this. He's bragging about it. The Republican Party, already complicit in countless abuses of power, must be forced to confront this atrocity. Every Republican in the House and Senate who still believes in the Constitution, if any remain, must rise up and act. They must demand Trump's impeachment for violating his oath of office, for disregarding judicial authority, and for trampling on the rights enshrined in our nation's founding documents. And they must demand the removal of Tom Homan, the so-called border czar, for saying, I don't care what the judges think. Really? This fight isn't just for Congress, it's for all Americans before America becomes a full-fledged police state. This is not a drill. This is not a partisan squabble. This is a moment when we decide if the United States remains a constitutional republic or slides into authoritarian rule. If we let this stand, history isn't going to ask how it happened. It will ask why we didn't stop it.